Cracking Crypto is partnered with City Index. Trade shares, CFDs, Forex, crypto, and more with a trusted provider.
G'day and welcome to Cracking Crypto, where we break down the projects in the ecosystem that are changing how we view finance and how we invest. I'm Andrew Gagan. Let's get the latest on the crypto scene as the major coins again come under pressure as the war in Ukraine intensifies. Ukraine has confirmed it is holding peace talks with Russia to end the conflict, but that hasn't encouraged investors' appetite for risk assets. Bitcoin trading just under 38,000 US dollars. This again after flirting with a $35,000 level, which historically has been a buy-in point for the larger buyers. In other news, a new crypto DAO has been formed to raise money for Ukrainian soldiers. The DAO is a coordinated effort and includes Russian art collective Pussy Riot, which has already raised more than $3 million in Ethereum. Elsewhere, the EU Parliament has postponed a vote on a regulatory framework for crypto indefinitely. It follows a leaked draft that included a provision banning proof-of-work coins that are energy intensive, effectively banning Bitcoin and Ethereum. ECB President Christine Lagarde saying it was important to pass the legislation as soon as possible. Well, last week at the world's largest Ethereum event, ETH Denver brought together people from across the Ethereum network. The event was a good chance to meet the people behind the next generation of projects using crypto and the blockchain. Ugo Nduaguba was there. He's from Token Metrics and he joined us earlier to discuss some of the projects and coins that he sees as promising.
Absolutely. So ETH Denver is a great conference to be able to meet Ethereum developers as well as all the people that are very interested in Ethereum ecosystem. There are a few projects that you find here and there, but the event was very, very good. It was developer heavy. So there was a hackathon with Dora Hacks, where we sort of are going to partner with them in the future to be able to find creative projects building in the Ethereum ecosystem. We also found a few good projects that were really there. The presentations were very good. The energy is very good. It's very, very positive for the crypto ecosystem. Even though we were in a bear market, I saw so much energy, so much drive, so much passion, and a lot of people that are so excited about creating, the next internet, Web 3.0. So it was beautiful.
Yeah, interesting you say, given we are in a bear market, there's still obviously that enthusiasm, those believers. Well, let's get into those projects that you're finding attractive and really interesting at the moment. And of course, you talk about Ethereum. It is the decentralized open source blockchain system that is preferred at this point. It's about to undergo an upgrade, of course, to Ethereum 2.0, allows the execution of those smart contracts. Tell us what your thoughts are about the future of Ethereum.
I would say the future is very bright. There are a few challenges in terms of being able to completely bridge to 2.0 because they have an existing system already, proof of work, and now they're migrating to proof of stake. And in the event that they are successful at doing that, I feel like Ethereum will lose a bit of its composability, and it will sort of be a hybrid layer 1, layer 0 type blockchain where a lot of applications, layer 2, zero knowledge proofs to be built around Ethereum. However, those applications may not necessarily be able to talk to each other. So that's sort of what Ethereum has to give up in order to become sort of Ethereum 2.0 in a sense, where the gas fee issues are fixed and it can scale infinitely. But yeah, it's the fact that they have a product already and literally trying to rebuild the whole system makes me a little bit nervous, but I would say if they can pull it off, the future is extremely bright. And I would say the conference helped boost my confidence that they can actually pull this off.
All right, well, let's get into some of those projects perhaps and those coins that are less well known. And Helium is one of those. This is all about the internet of Things. Tell us how Helium plays its part.
Absolutely. And I have to sort of go back to tell you guys how I learned about Helium. So we have a Token Metrics platform as well as fund. And Token Metrics earlier in 2017, when we were angel investing prior to forming Token Metrics Fund, we were able to use a research process to find helium early on. And the first hotspot was actually sent to our CEO, Ian, and he tested it. So he's been mining since 2018. I love the technology of helium because pretty much like you said, it's iota of things. And helium has been gaining wild world traction in terms of partnering with projects that are solving real-time problems. Helium can be used to detect fires. It can be used in supply chain to be able to track items. It can also be used recently to actually power the 5G decentralized network. When I was in Lisbon for Solana conference, when I met the Helium team, they said the whole city actually is pretty much Helium. They have enough adoption with Helium where they can provide 5G coverage as well as be able to track anything, any function that Helium has. And the direction of the company is that they want to be able to provide this to the rest of the world. And they're moving very good, especially in the US and in the Northeast areas.
All right, that's Helium. One that is more well known is Polkadot with the coin DOT, which essentially is what is allowing those blockchains to be interoperable with each other.
Yes, yes. Yeah, Polkadot is a great project, and for those who don't know, it was created by one of Ethereum core developers, Gavin Wood. He actually wrote the yellow paper for Ethereum. And Polkadot is layer 0, meaning that other blockchains can build on top of it. So they actually have just 100 parachain slots where projects can sort of get a slot by staking DOT itself. I believe at the moment there's been 14 projects that have their own parachain, most notably Moonbeam, which is an EVM compatible chain that can bridge Ethereum assets into Polkadot. And they also have Akala, which is sort of the DeFi platform that's going to be cross-chain interoperable. So the thesis of Polkadot is to be able to create, they use substrate technology to create a blockchain that can interact with other blockchains. So they're trying to connect everything in a sense. And the project is great. I would say the price action hasn't reflected quite the development. And I'm not too sure if people are taking profits or if there's not enough adoption yet. But that's one of the projects I'm very, very bullish on because the tech is very strong and what they're doing will completely revolutionize the blockchain ecosystem.
Yeah, just on that point, Ugo, how do you actually value a project when you look at the value of those coins and how they've been performing?
Yeah, absolutely. Obviously, in the traditional market, typically to value projects, you look at earnings and equity and sort of be able to value that. I would say in projects within the blockchain ecosystem, specifically DOT, it would have to be network effects. How many people are using the platform? That's how the token is valued. So the more people use the platform, the more the token appreciates in value. So something very akin to Meta's law, where it's just network effect.
All right, let's move on to Decentraland, otherwise known as Mana. It is, well, I guess if we're talking about virtual reality, this is the platform that is a go-to at the moment as far as Decentraland is concerned. It is powered by the Ethereum blockchain, but we're hearing so much about this at the moment, particularly with NFTs and those who want to set up businesses, I guess, in the virtual world. What does Mana offer?
Oh, Mana offers so much. The platform, it was actually ahead of its time. Back in 2017, when it came out, we were pretty clueless. You know, the technology hasn't gotten to that point. So we thought they were very ambitious. But fast forward 3 years, 4 years later, Mana is the platform to be. So I would say Mana really is if you're betting on the metaverse plays, Mana is sort of the OG in metaverse. So I would say they have the first mover advantage. Think about it in a sense where Ethereum has first mover advantage in terms of layer one blockchain. I would say Decentraland actually does have first mover advantage in terms of metaverse. And with Mana, you can buy land, and land has been appreciating tremendously. I believe when I was looking at it, it was 5,000. Now they're selling for about 15,000. You have a couple of great platforms like Boson Protocol that launched an e-commerce platform. You have VCs that are building their platforms on it. You also have Chico Crypto and some influencers that actually have a basis on Decentraland where they can, um, you know, uh, sort of provide content to their users in a sense. So I would say if you haven't tried Decentraland, buy some tokens, go in there, jump into different areas and really, really, really experience it. I would say if I'm betting on a metaverse project to succeed, I would put my money on Decentraland. They have tremendous tech and they have first mover advantage.
All right, Mana, let's move on to Atlas. I've seen this described as the lubricant of the metaverse.
Yeah. Atlas is a very interesting project. I was fortunate to get in seed stage, and what they pretty much are creating is a metaverse platform using Unreal Engine. Unreal Engine is sort of a technology that is not even really, really ready yet, but it provides extreme high resolution and also is very interactive game. I believe the build out to the game is going to take 3 or 4 years. So it's extremely ambitious, but the goal of the game is pretty much to take over the entire metaverse. And it's really, literally you have ships and you conquer empires. So it's a very ambitious game. It has a very strong team. I'm actually in Denver and I met one of the devs. They recently launched an MVP and a game where people can test and people can also buy ships already on their platform. But I'm looking forward to see what this has to offer. But I would say if this game is able to be successful, I believe they can attract tremendous value and even surpass the market cap of Axie Infinity, which is a play to earn game that's very interactive and very, and it makes a lot of people money, but the game is not as fun. I believe Star Atlas is actually comparable to PS4 graphics, PS5 graphics. So that would be extremely interesting to be able to earn money playing a game like that.
Ugo, when we were talking about Ethereum, of course, a problem with that, it's become a victim of its own success in that it's become slow. It's got scalability problems. The next one we're looking at is Internet Computer, ICP, which it's fast, perhaps the fastest, and infinitely scalable.
Absolutely. I love the technology of ICP. I have to confess, the tech is a bit difficult to understand. When listening to the interview with Dominique, I was still left confused. So my goal is actually to attend conferences and start to plug into the ecosystem of ICP. But my attraction to ICP is that this token came out extremely well, and now it's 97% down. And they have they have one of the biggest developers in the whole ecosystem in terms of talent. So I feel like if there's anyone that can sort of execute on this big vision, I believe ICP is definitely worth a punt. How I sort of value my portfolio is I don't know the layer one project that's going to win, so I diversify between different projects, and ICP is one that has recently caught my attention simply because I believe at the current point it's a good price point to be able to get in. But I definitely want to learn more about the technology, and I also feel like the team needs to do a better job marketing and explaining the idea. And I think that's actually the reason why it hasn't gained the traction that it should. But there are amazing projects building on it. So I'm looking forward to what they do in the future.
Ugo, we're running out of time, but we've only got through 6 there. As an investor, are you then spreading your risk across these coins where you obviously have a belief in them, you understand what these projects are capable of doing? As an investor, how are you approaching it?
Yes, absolutely. I'm definitely hedging my risk and investing in multiple platforms that I believe in. I'm not the type of investor that sort of goes all in one thing. I like to bet on multiple horses. It's sort of think about the internet.com bubble era. It was just hard to pick the winners. So, but if you picked enough good projects and did some very good due diligence, you're able to identify it. And which is the reason why I always recommend our platform, Token Metrics, because that's my resource for being able to do research, in-depth research on any project that I'm interested in. And when their research, which they use machine learning and AI to and thousands of data points to be able to spot projects, when my research coincides with theirs, then I'm definitely looking at that project and looking to invest and using the right sample sizing as well. So I don't have too much risk in a sense.
That's Ugo Nduaguba from Token Metrics, and we'll endeavour to have him back again on the show sometime soon to go through those other projects that he's really interested in. That is the show for today. Join us again, same time tomorrow.
Cracking Crypto is partnered with City Index. Trade shares, CFDs, Forex, crypto, and more with a trusted provider.